We're staying in a place called Kyle that is just on the other side of the bridge that goes over to the Island of Skye. And Kyle's not really a bustly place or anything like that. There's about 4 restaurants and 2 Airbnbs and a couple of hotels, and we're just staying at a cozy little Airbnb, and there is kind of a pier here, and I'm surprised that big ships would be coming up to it. Yesterday we saw a big ship and it was being loaded with timber, and that was really cool to watch. And today it's got something special on this boat. Do you know what it is? Because we had a good chat. Have a think about that. What is that? It's huge. It's really gray. It's really gray. I'm gonna tell you what we think it is, and we could be wrong. We think that they are the wings for wind turbines for wind power, and that is awesome. They are huge, they are massive, I want to go stand next to one and feel inferior is what I want to do, but I don't think anybody's going to let me on that boat. They're just gigantic, and we've seen so many wind farms as we've been going through. The highlands seem to have a lot of them because it's pretty windy up there and there's not a whole lot of people living there, so catch the wind.
It's pretty windy right here.
Yeah. Maybe they should just set up that boat, start making that power.
So we're headed over to the Isle of Skye, which is like the coolest name for an island I've ever heard in my life. And we're going across this bridge that they've built, and it's not like a super old bridge. This is like, I mean, it looks like a reasonably new bridge. And the angle they built it at, it's got a huge hump, like a camel hump on it. And yesterday we came across here and we were like, why would they build this so big? Like, do they have the necessity for a bridge this big to bring in ships with a load that big? And then we saw what we saw this morning, and it's like, oh, okay, they're trying to move in wind turbines that are like humongous. Maybe that's the reason they've got a bridge that's like also humongous. I just roundabouted and I did a good job. This is borderline the windiest I've ever been. Like, it's crazy amounts of wind. Like, I am having trouble maintaining my standing point. And this has got to be a really big challenge for the windscreen on the camera right now. If you all can hear anything, I'm really impressed.
Into it and you go nowhere. It's like a treadmill, but in the air.
It's absurd. Jeez. Crazy wind! Ah!
This is no joke. The fluids coming out of my face have no choice of where to go. And it's barbed wire. And I already found that out. Can wind like perforate your eardrum?
Yeah, probably.
Oh shit.
Yo, that wind is no joke. Like, I don't think I've ever... We've been inside of like little wind turbine things inside of science museums. I don't think they had anything on that. That was crazy.
That was crazy.
And like walking there isn't that bad because it's coming to your back. But when you walk back, it's painful actually. Like the amount of wind that's hitting you is stinging your face and everything is just leaking. Your whole face is just like...
Yeah, it's just... And I thought it was just me and I was walking past those people and I was like, I feel disgusting right now.
Yeah, but like everything is leaking. Your nose is leaking. And then towards the end of it, and the wind picked up even more somehow. And it feels like, you know, when you jump in a swimming pool and you don't plug your nose and all the water gets blown into your brain and like it feels horrible. I was having that happen because the wind was just blowing all these liquids back up into my brain and it just like, Ugh, it's horrible. And you said your ear hurts now?
Yeah, my ear hurts. It's like a sting, like a piercing pain.
Whew.
I don't think wind could take my ear out, but I guess it could. And just a side note, that color green just means play.
Oh, does it?
All that means is just run and play and have fun, and then try not to have your ear taken off by the wind.
And drown in your own snot.
And drown in your own snot, yeah.
What was that?
Ew! Seriously, at every end of every mystery road, there's just a pony. Now we've doubled up on ponies. It doesn't make any sense. I guess since we saw two before, we saw Jack and then we saw the black one, now we've got a Jack and a black one together. Your life just starts multiplying. You're gonna get shit on, son. I'm really worried about that.
Today we spent the day exploring the northern part of the Isle of Skye, which I still stand by being like the coolest name of an island I've ever heard in my life. And it's kind of like this big plump peninsula. And it's very, very, very remote out here in the sense that there aren't a whole lot of big built up areas, and there aren't like big, huge roads or anything. Every once in a while you have a 2-lane road, but a majority of the time you're driving down the road, it's like if another car comes from the other direction, you got to kind of like scoot over to the side and stop while they scoot by. It's like that kind of situation. So it's really actually quite fun thing because it's not like there's a lot of traffic or anything. And we drove along this loop along the top of this fat little peninsula and just watched the ocean go by and had that moment with all the wind.
Oh, with the wind, and there were like cliffs. I feel like we hadn't really seen cliffs in other areas, but there were some random cliffs out on the edge or against the coast, and just getting to see the water, and it was a nice drive, but I would say that it wasn't like blowing me away scenery-wise.
Yeah, so. If you want to get like into that world where we're comparing like to the rest of like the northern part of the mainland of Scotland,
northern will
part of
spoil you.
Yeah, it's so amazing up there. It's also a little bit dreary today just because of the weather, so maybe that's a little bit impactful. But it was a very fun little drive. And
after riding that circle, we've landed at Portree.
Yeah, which is the biggest town.
Which is a chubby little city. Everything is plump and fat and chubby. It's a chubby little city. Probably their chubbiest.
It's the biggest town, I think, on the Isle of Skye.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
And it's still not a very big place. I mean, it's a quaint little, like, European-looking town. And we stumbled into this restaurant that we found on Google Maps because, like, the reviews or whatever.
Cafe Arriba!
And it was amazing at Cafe Arriba. We had really, really amazing food. We had this really wonderful little view of the bay and everything. And it was just like a really pleasant little place to be.
I told the lady, we saw your reviews on Google and we thought, nah, it's not really gonna be that great. And I ate my words, dude. I told her, I was like, that was really good. So, yeah.
And you're trying to
stop there.
You're trying to get a fika on now? Is that what you keep talking about?
Every day you're getting a fika on. So I'm trying to figure out where's the best fika in this Portree town. We got like 3 options, so we got to figure out where to go.
Did you call it Portree or Portly? There we go.
Sweets on Skye.
Sweets on Skye.
Thank you. Watch, he's gonna strut. Look at him strut. Oh, strutting! Ah! Ah! Yeah, he looks amazing. We're back on the Island of Skye. And it's actually the Isle of Skye. I keep saying island. I'm not really sure why. I kind of like that better. But Isle of Skye is still a pretty amazing name. And today kind of sucked. It's maybe around like 1 o'clock and it finally stopped raining, and the rain was actually coming down really hard, so we have like no footage for the entire morning, and some cool stuff did happen. We got to see them actually transport those wind turbine wings that we saw the other day on the big boat. We saw them move them through town, and it was ridiculous. We got caught up in this big traffic jam about that, and it was really kind of fun, but also very boring at the same time. We've just come out to the northwestern part of the island, doing a loop over here. And I don't know what's out here. We've just kind of happened into this kind of swampy, yet really lived in area that is immensely windy. And I think my favorite part about it is like the little spaced out houses, and they're just there having a good time. And we found a little bit of civilization, which was kind of cool since we've been driving for almost an hour, well, maybe like 45 minutes, and there hasn't really been anything. So this is life on life on Skye. Life on Skye. As we've been driving for, gosh, I guess it's almost been a week or whatever, I don't know.
Yeah, since we had the car.
Yeah, since we've been driving around, we've seen waterfalls. Seen little guys here and there, and some that were quite big, but they were just kind of right by the road, and something about that makes them feel attainable. And that takes away the charm that waterfalls have, where you have to
Work for them.
And I think that we have put ourselves in this waterfall category where it really takes a lot to get over this waterfall hurdle that makes us go, whoa. We're driving down this road and we see this just cliffside, and this huge waterfall is falling out of it, and Eric goes, that's a waterfall.
The question I have is, think you can get over there to it?
No.
You gonna swim this?
I am not gonna, I can't even stand this. I already feel like I'm swimming because of the wind. But we've come to what I would say is probably the westernmost city that we're gonna get to.
City?
Yeah, well,
it's like a boat.
Town, village, I don't know. It is interesting, and it has like a, what's that fisherman that sells the fish sticks? You know,
Uncle Ben?
Not Uncle Ben.
Oh, that's
Uncle
the rice
Ben
guy.
is the rice guy. God.
Fish stick guy, I don't know.
Fish stick guy. I can't remember his name, but he's always got on like the yellow. He lives here. I'm pretty sure he lives somewhere in here. Yeah. Doesn't look like anything I've seen so far. Squidgy. It's very moist. Up this little path over there's like a little waterfall, and I was going to invite you back there so that you could see this little waterfall. The only reason I found the waterfall is because I went back there to pee, and then I realized I'm not going to invite you back there because of how much toilet paper is back there. Scotland, what is up with this? I had to pee on the side of the road at least more than 10 times while we've been out and about.
Okay.
There's no public toilets like along the roads.
I mean,
it is just
fair,
stop
look
the car.
Where we are.
There's tons. We're at a tourist destination. That's where we are. Put a porta potty. That sounded like one of those rhymes. But yeah, come on. I don't mind it when you're really out in the middle of nowhere and you haven't seen anyone, but when you've got like 40 cars, you might necessitate a bathroom.
So the thing we've come to do is check out these things called the ferry pools. And we don't know what it is, we just saw it on a map and we're like, ferry pools sound great. So we drove way out here, and it turns out there's quite a few people here. And I noticed everybody else is wearing boots. And we got down to this little river that you have to cross. It's at the end of this path. And we do not have the appropriate footwear to get across this little river. So now we are trying to see if we can find different spots on the little river that maybe have got some stepping stones or something that can get us across. And this is what I'm dealing with at the moment. And I don't know if there we go, can get across. I could. It's a bit squidgy though. So instead of offering me a hand, I'm gonna videotape this.
Well, I figured you might fall in and it would be worth having on video.
Oh man.
It turns out that it's not that hard to get across that little bit. We watched a bunch of other people do it and they weren't getting super soaked, even though almost everybody else had mega like boots on. One girl, like she was like 14, just went across in some Nikes. And we were like, what, are this 14-year-old girl's gonna show us up? I don't think so.
But then there was like this 40-year-old woman that couldn't get across and she had to stick her whole leg in the water. It was amazing.
These are much, much better steps.
Success. About 5-10 minutes.
Scotland feels like a cow pasture. All the time. Every time.
I'd say it was probably worth risking getting our shoes wet to come up here. The ferry pools are pretty sweet looking.
Yeah, even if you're not looking at them.
We're looking right at the sky. This sky's pretty awesome looking too.
There's not a whole lot to be said about this waterfall because it's saying it all in the power that is just flooding down this hill. It is incredible.
I like how there's a little river to my right and there's also a little river over here to my left. And it creates like a stereo sound in my ears where it's like, you got this cool audio thing going on. And this little path ends up at this like majestic little mountain string. As we're walking back to the car, the sun is setting behind this hill. And it's illuminating these hills quite wonderfully.
Earlier today we were talking about how we had seen some cool stuff, and one of the cool things that we saw was the turbine wings for the wind power, possibly. We're not sure if that's what it's for, but we're pretty sure that's what it is. We saw them being transported down the road, and just out of the corner of my eye as we're going home tonight, I saw this truck sitting here with another one of the wings sitting on it, and they are gigantic. It's awesome how big it is, and I think that's not amazing. I don't know how to explain. I'm intimidated but yet excited by it. It feels like technology is getting very big, and I know that technology is big, but it's not even technology. I don't know how to explain how I feel about this. Like I feel like it's an advancement in technology, and I'm watching it happen. You know, somebody was alive and electricity started happening, you know, and somebody was alive and they got to watch television for the first time or whatever. And I'm getting to see wind power take off and like renewable energy, and that's really cool to me. So I think this is amazing, and we got to watch them like curve around the roads earlier. These drivers are like expert drivers. I don't know what sort of certification they have for not breaking stuff, but they don't break stuff. They do a really good job. So I want to drive one of these. Maybe not with that on it, because that's too important.
You ready for some dramatic sheep?
Yep.
There he is.
It did make our arrival seem dramatic.
Thanks to everyone for watching, and especially to our supporters at Patreon who make this video series possible. If you enjoyed this video, giving it a thumbs up helps our channel grow. We have a couple more videos from the UK on the way. If you want to see what we've already posted, check the playlist in the description. Also be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.